Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to lean in and hear me clearly. The life you are living today is not an accident. The victories, the struggles, the missed opportunities, they are all messages. Messages telling you that if you want to change your life, you must act now, not tomorrow, not next year, but today. 2026 is around the corner and it doesn't wait for anyone. Your transformation depends on the choices you make in this very moment. So, I'm going to give you 10 rules, 10 powerful, life-altering rules that, if applied, will set you on the path to greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, 2026 is not coming and it demands. The first step to transforming your life is to take full responsibility for everything that has happened and everything that will happen in your life. Most people go through life blaming circumstances, blaming other people, or blaming luck for their failures, their frustrations, and their lack of progress. They say, if only I had this opportunity, or if only the economy was better, or if only people treated me fairly. The truth is, no one owes you anything. The universe doesn't operate on fairness, it operates on results. Every great person you admire, every leader, every entrepreneur, every individual who has achieved the kind of success most people only dream about. They all understood one fundamental principle. Their life was their responsibility. Taking full responsibility means owning your past without excuses, recognizing your present without blame, and deciding to take control of your future without delay. It means acknowledging the choices you've made, both good and bad, and understanding that those choices have led you to this exact moment. It's not about guilt or shame, it's about power. When you stop blaming the world, you stop giving your power away. You stop allowing external forces to dictate your life. Instead, you step into the driver's seat and steer your life in the direction you choose. Responsibility requires courage because it forces you to look in the mirror and face uncomfortable truths about yourself. It forces you to admit that no one else is responsible for your growth, your mindset, your discipline, or your success. It requires you to stop waiting for someone else to rescue you, to stop waiting for the perfect opportunity, and to start acting with intention and purpose right now. It's a mindset shift that separates those who dream from those who achieve. Every time you make a conscious choice to take responsibility, you reclaim your power and move one step closer to becoming the person you were meant to be. When you take full responsibility, failure no longer scares you because you understand that failure is not a reflection of your worth, but a reflection of your actions, your decisions, and your learning process. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start being a creator of solutions. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You start asking yourself, what can I do right now to change my situation? Rather than complaining about what went wrong. This perspective opens doors that were previously invisible. It transforms challenges into opportunities, setbacks into stepping stones, and struggles into lessons that propel you forward. Taking responsibility also means holding yourself accountable to your commitments, your goals, and your dreams. It means showing up every day, even when it's uncomfortable, inconvenient, or exhausting. It means refusing to let excuses or fear dictate your actions. People who take full responsibility don't wait for permission or validation. They take action, learn from their mistakes, adjust, and keep moving forward. They understand that control over their life begins with control over themselves, their decisions, and their reactions. When you embrace this principle, something remarkable happens. You stop feeling powerless, you stop blaming, and you stop waiting for miracles. You realize that your destiny is in your hands, and every choice you make can either move you closer to your dreams or further away from them. It's in this place of absolute ownership that transformation begins, and the life you've been dreaming about starts to become possible. Commitment to massive action is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Too many people spend their lives planning, dreaming, and wishing, but their dreams never manifest because they fail to act with intensity and consistency. Action is the fuel that transforms vision into reality, but not just any action, massive, relentless, unstoppable action. It's the kind of action that shakes you out of complacency, the kind that pushes you past excuses, fear, and comfort zones. It's action that refuses to wait for perfect conditions, that doesn't pause because of doubt or hesitation, that continues even when results are slow or invisible. Massive action requires urgency. Too many people say they will start tomorrow, next week, or next year, thinking that time is on their side. The truth is, the clock is ticking whether you act or not. Every moment you delay is an opportunity lost. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stagnant is that the successful act decisively, consistently, and without waiting for permission. They understand that momentum is built through action, not intention, and that consistent steps, no matter how small, compound over time into extraordinary results. When you commit to massive action, you develop a bias for doing rather than overthinking. Overthinking kills dreams faster than any obstacle. You begin to see challenges not as roadblocks but as invitations to grow. You stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start asking, "How can I make this work?" You learn to adapt, adjust, and innovate on the fly because the commitment to action forces creativity and resilience. Each step taken, each risk embraced, each task completed builds confidence, skill, and clarity, creating a momentum that carries you forward even when the path seems unclear. Massive action also requires discipline. It's not just about random bursts of energy, it's about showing up every day, doing the work, and staying consistent even when motivation fades. Habits are formed through repeated action, and excellence is forged through daily commitment. Every time you push yourself to act when it's uncomfortable, every time you go the extra mile, you are reinforcing a mindset of unstoppable progress. Action compounds over time, creating a force that transforms ordinary efforts into extraordinary outcomes. Commitment to action also demands courage. You will encounter obstacles, resistance, and doubt, both from the world and from within yourself. Massive action pushes you to face these challenges head on rather than retreat. It teaches you that fear is not a signal to stop but a signal that growth is happening. Action without fear is impossible, but action in spite of fear is the hallmark of every achiever. The more consistently you act, the more you build trust in yourself, your abilities, and the process. You begin to see that your capacity to act is greater than any excuse, limitation, or external condition. When you fully embrace the principle of massive action, you stop being a spectator in your own life. You stop waiting for opportunity to find you and start creating your own. You stop hoping for results and start producing them. You begin to move at the speed of determination, making progress daily and gradually, powerfully. You realize that no dream is too big and no goal is too distant because your relentless action carries you forward, shaping your destiny with every step you take. Embracing failure and leaping beyond fear is the defining characteristic of every person who has ever achieved greatness. Fear is the invisible chain that keeps most people trapped in mediocrity. It whispers lies, telling you that you're not ready, that you're not capable, that the risk is too great. And failure, for many, is the villain of their story, something to be avoided at all costs. But here's the truth. Failure is not your enemy, fear is not your prison, and the moment you understand this, you unlock the power to rise above every limitation that has held you back. Failure is feedback, a message, a signal from the universe that you are pushing against the boundaries of your comfort zone and moving toward growth. Each misstep, each setback, each no you encounter is an opportunity to learn, adjust, and become stronger. The difference between those who succeed and those who quit is not that the successful never fail, it's that they refuse to let failure define them. When you embrace failure, you begin to see it as a necessary part of progress. Every entrepreneur, every innovator, every leader has faced failure countless times. It is not an indication that they are incapable. It is proof that they are daring, that they are trying, and that they are moving. Failure teaches lessons that success never can. It forces you to evaluate your approach, sharpen your skills, and build resilience. It strips away illusions and forces you to confront reality. And in that confrontation, you discover your strength, your creativity, and your capacity to endure. Failure is the tuition you pay for wisdom, and those who refuse to pay it remain stuck in the classroom of hesitation and regret. Leaping beyond fear requires courage, and courage is a muscle that grows only when exercised. Fear will never fully disappear, but it can be mastered. You master fear by taking action despite it, by stepping into the unknown, and by refusing to let doubt dictate your choices. Every time you face a fear, no matter how small, you expand your capacity for success. You begin to see that the things you feared most were never as dangerous as your imagination made them out to be. You discover that fear is temporary, but the rewards of action are lasting. Taking that leap, however uncomfortable, however uncertain, is what separates the dreamers from the doers, the spectators from the creators. Embracing failure and leaping beyond fear also transforms your mindset. You begin to redefine what it means to succeed. Success is no longer a fixed destination. It becomes a series of courageous decisions, bold actions, and lessons learned. You develop a mindset of resilience and adaptability, understanding that the path to your dreams is never linear. Each failure becomes a stepping stone, each fear becomes a challenge to overcome, and each risk becomes an opportunity to grow. The more you practice this principle, the more fearless, confident, and unstoppable you become. When you live in this space, life opens up in ways you never imagined. Opportunities that once seemed impossible become attainable. You start taking risks that generate extraordinary rewards. You stop being held hostage by doubt and hesitation, and instead, you move forward with determination, confidence, and unwavering belief in your ability to overcome, adapt, and triumph no matter what comes your way. Every failure becomes fuel, every fear becomes a catalyst, and every leap you take moves you closer to the life you were meant to live.